Hey guys, welcome to my brand new channel. My name is Jane and I am a high school nerd. And today I will talk about why you should read The Stranger by Albert Camus. Also, don't worry because I won't actually spoil anything happen in the book. Okay, so before we dive into it, I will summarize for you what I'm about to say in the next 7 and 8 minutes. So first, I will give you some background information about the author and the book itself. I will also explain what is existentialism and how is this philosophy related to the book. After that, I will give you some insight into the book itself, and finally, I will reach the conclusion of why you should read this book. So now, let's talk about the author. So the author of this book, Albert Camus, is one of the most influential French writers at all time for his contribution to a philosophy called absurdism and existentialism. And these two philosophies are illustrated throughout most of his work, including the myth of Sisyphus and the stranger. And one thing I found really fascinating about the author was that even though he is often described as an existentialist writer, he himself rejected that title. And he also won a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1957. So now let's talk about the book. So this book is an existentialist novel, or in some website you will find a philosophical novel. So what is it then? A philosophical novel is a novel that discusses questions, ideas, answers, and stories that related to a philosophy. This book in particular illustrated a mix of absurdism, existentialism, and even nihilism, depending on your perception. But today I will only talk about existentialism and not gonna talk about the other philosophy, because for me the idea of existentialism shines throughout the most part. So what is existentialism then? Existentialism, in short, is defined as existence preceding essence, which means it is a philosophy that believes we as humans exist first, and then we discover our own purpose. And so basically, I would imagine an existentialist would say, hey, since the universe that we are living in is really meaningless and it is full of irrationality, and so let's just live the way we want to, find our own meaning in our life, choose our own adventure, make our own decision, or in other words, live authentically, if that makes sense. And I mean any lifestyle. Because for an existentialist, we as humans have too much freedom that it is quite scary. And if you wonder who believe that we have too much freedom and view the world as meaningless, well, keep in mind that this philosophy came into prominence during of and soon after World War II, when meaning and order became increasingly hard to find in such a chaotic and violent world, when Nazi become order. And I mean, who could blame them, right? So, of course, existentialism is much more in-depth than this elementary definition, and I myself doesn't really understand it fully too. And so this book is written in the early 1940s. Hence the theme of this book is about the meaningless and irrationality of the universe through the lens of our main character, as well as the way he decided to live and to view the world as meaningless. The book conveys the idea that even passivity could be a lifestyle too. And just to be clarified, I am not an existentialist. And so my research could be lack of information, so feel free to correct me or add more information in the comment down below, and I would really appreciate that. So the reason why I give you these details and stuff is that I want you to understand better of what you are gonna read. So if you read this book and find a lot of scenes that doesn't make any sense, or even you can never relate to the character, well, understand that this book is meant for that. So really don't expect social order in this sort of book. Alert, if you get addicted to this book and find yourself in an existential crisis, oopsie, welcome to my world. Okay, now I will give you some insight into the book. So now I'm gonna read to you the opening of the book that really triggered me to buy this book immediately. And it starts like this. So, Mama died today or yesterday. I don't know. I got a telegram from the home. Mother deceased. Funeral tomorrow. Faithfully yours. That doesn't mean anything. Maybe it was yesterday. As you can clearly see, this is not a usual reaction that we would see when someone's own mother passed away. So we could pretty sure see that the main character in this novel doesn't react or see the world the same way as we did. And so now I'm gonna read into the conclusion. So if you are someone else that is interested in the philosophy of existentialism, I would definitely recommend this book to read because it will help you to understand it better. And if you're just a reader, or maybe you want to be more empathy, or maybe because during the pandemic, in this crazy and hectic world, you wonder if there's any meaning in life, then maybe this book is for you. And it will show you that there are lots of ways to view the world, and different than the usual one, the one with meaning and the one with set path. So, or maybe this book might even help you to understand the people that you may never related into your life. So this is the end of the video, guys. Yay! Thank you so much for listening to me talking non-stop to the camera, and I hope to see you in my next video. And in the future, I'm thinking of doing a series of what you should read book, but I'm not gonna fix in any gender, so I will pretty much read anything. So I would also welcome if you want to recommend me to any book, and I may do in the future. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and follow me here and my Instagram. And I will also have the link of the translation that I bought, which is by Matthew Ward, which is rather a new one, in the description box below. But you can also get an online free ebook to just an older translation. And that's it. Bye. Peace.